Welcome to Crazy Tech Stories, where HackerNoon brings you a handful of stories from the community at large. I'm Derek Bernard. Thanks for tuning in. Today we have 3 crazy tech stories for you, which are part of a larger series of talks presented in association with Indeed Prime and Huckletree at Huckletree's London location. This first talk is from Simon Woolf, a developer from Ably.io. He discusses what happens when a bug disappears or alters its behavior when one attempts to probe or isolate it. These are slide presentations, so if you're listening on audio, head on over to the YouTube channel, click subscribe, and follow along. Without further ado, Simon Woolf.
So I like reading debugging stories. I like seeing the mystery and the payoff. So here's a debugging story. It starts small, as they often do. Something that just doesn't quite work as expected. Getting an unknown path was returning a 500 internal server error rather than a 404 not found. But only in production, not on my local machine, not in CI. So this shouldn't happen because I have a catch-all handler in the web server I'm using that serves a pretty 404, which definitely works. It works locally, it has tests, and up until now it's worked in production. So I check the logs, and they're empty. Which shouldn't be possible, because anything that causes a 500 should print an error log. For anyone not familiar with Elixir or Erlang, the idea is that if something happens that you didn't anticipate, you let it crash. The process, actually a green thread, handling that particular task dies, and if needed, it's restarted in a known good state by its supervisor. And when that happens, you get a crash report in the logs. So, this is weird. I do the same thing a bunch more times, and suddenly, what's going on here? Application logger exited, shut down. The logger's clashed. Well, okay, that explains why I wasn't seeing anything. The logger application must be flushing SID out or something. So, okay, the module that's crashed in is my 404 handler, and the reason makes no sense. It's crashing in inspect and inspecting an empty list. And it's claiming that inspect is undefined. Now, inspect is part of the Elixir standard library. It's pretty printing data structures for debugging standard. There's no way it's undefined. So here's the line it crashed on, and the bit it crashed on is literally equivalent to inspecting an empty list. And inspect definitely does work. On the same instance having the problem, I'm logging some info when the app starts, which uses inspect. Not a list, admittedly, so I add something to app startup just to inspect an empty list, and the bug disappears. Everything works fine. I take it away again, and it starts hacking me again. Sometimes. Not every time. That'd be too easy. So it starts to look like this is only ever happening if the first call to inspect is from a web server request handler. So I could work around the problem by doing this on app startup, inspecting and logging one of every data structure I can think of immediately on app startup. This is crazy. So when it happens, the function is not available at runtime, but the physical file containing the compiled code for inspect is there in the slug. I downloaded it and checked. And now I'm getting really deep into weird debugging. You've got code.ensure loaded, which loads a module if it isn't already, just seems to behave completely randomly. And to be clear, this isn't just between builds, it's between deploys of the same slug, the same compiled artifact. So, does this mean we've got a bug in the language now, in Erlang's code loader? So, now I have a GitHub issue in the language's bug tracker with all sorts of scary labels, and eventually with a lot of assistance from the incredibly helpful Elixir community, we figured out that the whole being run from a web server request handler was just a red herring. It was making a difference because if it runs on app startup, it was just running earlier, which led to the solution. But before I give you the solution, quick note on how we deploy. So our CI server compiles a slug, which includes everything needed to run the app, which we then copy to where it's needed and mount it with overlay.fs, which is a kind of file system that means that when the application tries to write something to the slug, it doesn't actually change the slug. It writes the changes to a separate upper layer that's overlaid on top of the lower slug layer. And the upper directory is in /temp. It's a directory unique to each Docker container. So that means multiple independent Docker containers can share the same slug at the same time. It means you can redeploy and then start from a completely clean slate and so on. The thing is, we have a maintenance script that runs immediately after a deploy completes that apparently, among other things, cleans up any files in /temp with the last modified time of older than 2 days ago. Since the things in /temp are these upper directories, the cleanup script didn't change the actual slug, which was why it looked fine whenever I downloaded it, but it was marking the files as deleted in overlayfs, so they were being hidden from the document container. So the result was that any compiled slug that had not yet been, any compiled file that had not yet been loaded by the Erlang VM at the time the cleanup script ran was marked as deleted and so became inaccessible. And that was why it was only happening with inspecting a list, because every other code path and every other part of inspect had been loaded at the time, was being exercised on app startup. So the solution moved the overlayfs upper directory out of /temp. Thank you.
That was Simon Woolf from ably.io. His Twitter handle is @SEMW. This next talk is from Alex Bor, tech lead at Huckletree. Huckletree was the host of this little shindig, and Alex tells you who they are.
Anyway, hi everyone, so I'm Alex, I'm the tech lead here at Huckletree. So I thought I'd give a quick introduction about where you are today. Huckletree is a workspace accelerator. We bring together renegade minds and startups, scale-ups, innovation brands, and global brands. And we help them to collaborate, and also we help them to grow. So currently you're in our Shoreditch space, but we have 3 other sites. We have one in White City, we have one in Dublin, and we have another one in Clerkenwell. We are launching 4 more sites this year. We have one in Soho, which is coming in 2.5 weeks, so we're very excited about that. We have Westminster, which we have partnered with Public Call, so that will be a GovTech-focused location. We have Manchester launching late summer, and we have one more, which is going to be revealed later. So a lot of people ask, why does Huckletree have a tech team? So I thought I'd actually try and sort of give a bit more information around that. So the Huckletree platform is actually completely custom built. So this is everything which involves both our members and our team. So every touch point from all locations all interact on our platform. So this involves things like Node.js, PHP, TypeScript. We've got quite a big tech stack all in microservices. And we are currently now a team of 4. So we are trying to grow the team at the moment. So we're hiring full stack JavaScript and PHP developers. And we're also hiring some network engineers. So these will be people that will be going on site and making sure all of our buildings are staying operational. So we all work together on our benefit scheme. So this involves things like Vitality Health Insurance and our company away days. And we also have things such as our curiosity budget. So this is sort of your £150 to spend on anything that you have of interest. So I spent mine last year on learning Hebrew on a course I am yet to start. So you can really spend what you want on it. Anyway, so I'm Alex. You can follow me on Twitter. You can find me or Enrica if you want a tour of our Shoreditch space. So Enrica's over there. And yeah, let me know if you're interested in any of the open roles that we have. All right.
That was Alex Bor. You can follow him on Twitter at Alexander Bor. This last talk is from Anton Motzgovoy in Don't Do Releases on Friday, which is self-explanatory. Here's Anton.
Hey everybody. So this is not something very official. Obviously we're here just to chat. This is actually one of the funniest stories. The thing is that probably the funniest one was when I got an email from David saying, well, hey, this is what we're doing, and well, do you mind sharing one of the crazy stories? So I got back to my team and was like, well, which one should we share? And actually, I got way too many responses out there, so I was a bit, puzzled about what we should do. But anyway, so the startup that I'm talking about right now, Humaniq, we provide financial services for emerging markets. This is just a little bit of the kind of story so that you understand the context. And the idea is that since we're working in emerging markets, the majority of the customers that we have, they don't have their legal identities. So none of them, the IDs, passports, the majority of them wouldn't have the birth certificate. So legally, they don't exist. They're not on any AML list, sanctions list. So any KYC is a nightmare. So the title of my talk is obviously, don't do releases on Friday, which should be your dogma. Obviously, you never really follow it. And the story really begins, Friday late evening, it was just like yet another week, constant releases and then, really painful releases as we really tried to, grow out. And at that time, we were releasing our biometric system. So again, think about it as a face ID that allows you to like log in and authenticate into the app only using your face, right? There's a twist to it, right? So let's say like your iPhone X or anything that's Samsung S10, whatever. The face ID, whatever you're using, is actually a combination of two things. The hardware solution and software solution, both to determine ethnicity, whether you're actually a real person or whether it's a picture of somebody else's, whatever. Our system is only using the software layer, so that it could work on cheap Androids. But then obviously we're getting into a whole lot of other problems, but that's not really the point of this conversation. So anyways, we tested the system quite a lot. We did some really close releases, we did test launches, we did stress tests, and the point is that there's the difference in identifying people, so let's say by face, facial recognition. So there's two major things you can split it up in terms of the logic. So one is called one-to-one. So basically when you have a verified source of an image, let's say your government ID, and you have a picture of a person, the only thing you have to do is just see whether there's a match. That's relatively easy. What we were doing is called one-to-n. So basically what you have a picture of a face, and you have to look and go through all of the database of the users that you have to determine whether there's a match. So whether it's a new user, whether it's a live user, and a whole bunch of other things. So anyway, so we were releasing. It was, as I mentioned, it was a painful thing, and eventually we went out live. So at that time we were present in about 30 or 35 countries, like African countries. Right now it's around 42. And everything was fine, so it was late after midnight, everybody was tired, and obviously, when you finally release it, you go live and nothing breaks in the first 5 minutes, you're kind of like, all right, we're good, we're done. So we go to that. Obviously, we're just not, yet kind of startup, so we still have one person, on duty, having, you've seen those movies, where hackers, they have a bunch of, screens out there with metrics. It's not really like that. It's just, you have your Slack channel, and you see all these bots, if they're pinging you something, then something's wrong. So anyways, we got this, one of the, DevOps engineers, and he starts, his Slack starts pinging a lot, a lot. So obviously he starts looking to the charts, and then the performance grade notifications are telling that we're dying. They're specifically one of the services, and it was basically the authentication service, so which is to do with the biometric system we have. And funny or not, it's actually one of the critical services, because you guys probably know about the dependency it is, right? So basically, if people can log in or sign up into your app, well, the app doesn't really make any sense, though, right? So it was Saturday morning when it was the entire DevOps team already all awake, trying to fix and solve the problem. It was only the Sunday afternoon, that's when already, obviously the rest of the team was up and we were trying to resolve the issue. When we figured out, it was actually one of the algorithms that we use for the search, the biometry search that we do in order to actually go through that many images of people and trying to find, that specific match. So, soon after, it was actually 4 days, so right? It took us Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So obviously you guys obviously know about the technical debt, right? So who has the technical debt here? Yeah, I know we all do, right? So now we see, so that's already, no weekend, really, really miserable devs, not happy product managers. The new sprint is already kind of screwed up. And that's when we were finally able to manage the things and obviously see the impact. And it turned out that what happened, one of the ambassadors that we have, in local countries, they had an event, a massive event, which led to this incredible amount of new users signing up. So gradually, one of the services that we were using was basically dying out of constantly getting slower and slower searches, and finally getting out of the time response. So it took us 4 days to figure it out, and it was actually around 50,000 people who we think were not able to register. So we're not even talking about the users, and the churn kind of rate spike, right? All the users that logged in because they couldn't log in. But it was around 50,000 users that, that simple mistake was worthless. Quite an expensive lesson, but basically what we learned, yet another time actually, that, if things would be, let's say, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even Friday morning, still don't like it. But anyways, if it was during the daytime, it would be the entire team that would actually support, the rollback, and things wouldn't be that bad, and things wouldn't be critical. I mean, the message was obviously out there, always in, very loud and clear. Don't do releases on Friday, and it was kind of like, it cost the business money. It cost obviously the engineers, some probably a couple of years along the lines. It was a bit of a stressful situation out there, obviously, when when you have all this, especially like media locally in the markets, that's there, and telling you, well, hey, this new awesome app that allows you to do this, and that, and then people, go in and, it does nothing, obviously. So, the moral of the story is very simple, is guys, please don't do releases on Friday.
And there was Anton Motzgovoy. You can find him on Twitter at Motzgovoy_Anton. That's all for today, y'all. You can find the slides and videos for these presentations on youtube.com/HackerNoon. And hey, don't forget to subscribe. For Crazy Tech Stories, I'm Derek Bernard. Over and out.